Welcome to Whitlock Garage, where we're united by trucks. Today, we're taking a look at Jake Miller's square body, and this thing is cool. Thanks for tuning in to Whitlock Garage. We got another segment of What's in My Driveway today with Jake Miller's square body. It's blue, it's lowered, it's got some cool wheels, some retro style wheels that I think you're really gonna dig. Oh, and by the way, Jake is a young truck enthusiast, so we definitely want to give him some love on YouTube. So go ahead and just leave a comment encouraging Jake to stay involved with classic trucks. We're here with Jake Miller and his 83 square body, which just so happens to be the year I was born. I think that's kind of cool. First 83 we've had in the driveway. And I know I mentioned in the intro that Jake was a young truck enthusiast, but man, I had no idea that he wasn't even old enough to drive the truck. So that's a really cool thing. Jake's here with his dad, Chip. I'm sure we'll get some shots of him here in just a minute, but Jake, tell us how you ended up with this truck.
I've always kind of had a love for these trucks. You know, he has a 66 at home, and he's just always kind of turned me towards these trucks.
Sure.
And just a few months ago, I mean, we've been looking on Craigslist for quite a while now. Our whole plan was, you know, when I was around 14 or 15, get a truck, you know, be able to work on it, get it just how we want it, so that way when I'm 16, drive to school, you know, and we want it to be reliable and, you know, done right. We found this a few months ago in around March, and we went to go look at it. Love at first sight. So.
That's awesome. If there's one thing that you gotta love on this truck, it's the color.
Oh,
what
yeah.
do you know about the color? Do you know exactly what code it is or anything? Or
I know it's the same scheme as how it came originally, you know, white, blue, white. Real cool metallic blue. It has some silver in it.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
I think it's a cool color for sure. You got the truck back in March. Was it stock when you got it?
Pretty much, yeah. Had stock exhaust, had these wheels, has a 4.6 drop on it with Beltec suspension and everything on it.
Sweet. You got this truck back in March. It's got the 4.6 drop on it. We know that's from Beltec. Really, really cool setup on this truck. But tell us about these cool wheels. I mean, you've got a really classic styled wheel on this truck. Tell us a little bit more about them.
They're 20 by 8.5 in the front and 20 by 9.5 in the back.
Sweet. So it looks like a 295 in the rear. Do you have any idea what size tire that is in the front? It looks like a
275 40/20s.
That's awesome. It looks like a little bit of meat all the way around, which I really dig. So we're taking a look at this drivetrain. As you said, it's a V8. Is it a 305 or a 350?
305.
So 305, which a lot of these trucks came with. I've actually got the one over there from PAYOFF that I'm going to be putting in the K5 here soon, and 700 R4. So essentially, it's the same drivetrain that came out of PAYOFF, which is Ron's 84 GMC. Tell me what else you know about this thing, or what you've done under the engine bay.
What we just did a few weeks ago is we put a new aluminum radiator in it. Griffin.
Yeah,
it's
actually didn't even notice that. I think it's factory in there.
It's really good now.
What else have you done to the engine?
Well, painted the inner fenders, got all this cleaned up. This was blue, and then we cleaned all that up. Put some new valve covers on it. It came with some Edelbrock ones, and they were all right, but these look, I think, a lot better in my opinion. Put a new air cleaner on it. Just trying to clean it up.
What color did you paint the valve covers and the breather there?
It's like a metallic gray.
Let me see if I can get that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's coming through.
Yeah, it's...
Wow, what a cool color.
It's real clean. And it's the same color as the air cleaner.
Yeah, I was telling you earlier, it reminds me of Goldine, the gold truck that Brian Harrison just did, and we featured here on the channel.
Yeah.
That's just a clean look, especially on a stock-ish type square body. So power steering, power disc brakes, AC. So was the AC working when you got the truck?
Yeah. We're gonna have to get a new compressor, and probably it's...
Does it still blow cold at all?
Oh yeah,
it's just noisy.
Yeah, on the way over here, it was blowing cold out.
So I was the only one sweating when y'all got here, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Well, really clean engine bay. Thanks for walking me through that. So we're taking a look at this interior on this 83 GMC Sierra, and man, this thing is really, really clean. Obviously the blue goes really well with the exterior color. What have you guys done anything to the interior of this truck, or did it come this way?
Well, it came mostly just the way you see it, but I got some new pedal pads from LMC and put a temp gauge in.
Sweet.
Don't know if that old one works, and I've painted that gauge bezel about 500 times. Because at first I painted it black, but I used the plastic dip stuff and it started peeling. So
yeah.
Then I painted it blue because I've never seen anybody do that before. But then just a few days ago I was like, no. So I just painted black again.
Well, it looks really, really clean. I think one cool thing to point out on these trucks, and people who have square bodies probably don't, even think about this, but this truck 83 has power windows.
Yeah.
Power door locks. This truck, especially for 1983, has a lot of creature comforts, which I think is cool for a young man like you who's probably going to be driving this thing a lot.
Oh yeah, this is what I'm going to be driving every day to high school.
I think that that you've got a great platform to do that.
Yeah, thank you.
Anything else you want to tell me about the interior?
Those steering wheels.
They're awesome, aren't they? GMC, gentleman's crew. We're going 3 deep. That's what these bench seats are made for. Oh man, this thing is comfy. All right, so Jake is obviously 14. We got his dad Chip in the truck now. He's gonna drive us around and talk a little bit more about this truck. It's obviously a really, really cool truck. So one thing we didn't mention before was the exhaust. So you mentioned it had new exhaust, but we didn't really talk about exactly what it was. So Jake or Chip, what?
They're Borla XS.
Oh yeah, the Pro XS. That's exactly what I have on my truck. Yeah. And that's what Rick also has on his LS square body as well. Yeah, so what's funny is that, yeah, that sounds just like mine inside the cab actually. I found that these mufflers sound different on every truck, every motor. I mean, obviously they would sound different on a different type of engine and trans setup, but Rick and I both have LSs. His are extremely louder than mine. You can barely even hear my truck running, and you can hear this truck running just sitting there idling. So it sounded really cool.
Has a good drone to it.
Yeah. Does it drone in the cab?
Oh, terribly.
Oh man.
It's just, yeah.
So are they dumped before the axle?
Yeah, we had
that's why.
We had full exhaust on it all the way out the back, but it didn't look right. It wasn't going for the look. It didn't have the look we were going for.
Yeah.
And we just said, you know what, let's just cut off the axle and see. And I'm like, oh man.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should have done that, but it's okay for now.
That's right. Well, the drone is something that I experience as well in my truck, and it's because mine are turned down. So Rick's run out the back in a really nice and clean way, and it sounds awesome. I mean, it really, really sounds awesome. I feel like these mufflers just need a little bit more pipe to get that that really distinct sound. Although this truck sounds great. You guys got this truck back in March, Chip.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the arrangement or agreement that you made with Jake to work on this truck and to buy this truck even.
Well, it started out, we've been looking for about a year, maybe a little bit over a year, and we've been looking for the blue. He kept saying, man, I love this blue, I love this blue, I love this blue. And I'm like, all right, well, trying to find one, and he's been looking at trucks. And I'm like, great. As a father coming up on a 16-year-old in a few years driving a truck, great.
Oh yeah.
So we found the truck from a gentleman in Conyers, real great family, good guy. Jake had no idea about it. Went
cool.
Looked, and then I was like, okay. Told the wife, I was like, look, we're gonna get it. This is gonna be it. We're gonna finally do this. Went got the truck, and his first meeting of the truck was when we were buying it. So
wow.
I was like, well, what do you think? Is this the right color? And he's like, completely shocked at that point.
Yeah.
So we after the shock was over, everything was done, we said, look, all right, here's the deal. I need half. I need half of the truck cost.
Yeah.
And I need you to start working on it from front to back. I need you to know everything from front to back.
Yeah.
If you can do that, then you won't get stranded. You'll know what's going on if
Yep.
anything ever happens. So that's the deal. So he's
Man, what a cool dad and mom.
he's been working it off every week this summer. He's been working it off, going, getting odd jobs, doing different things.
Yeah.
And he's slowly working off and then buying parts.
That is really cool. What are some of the odd jobs you've been doing to help pay your dad back on this?
Mowing grass, just working around the house.
Yep. Typical teenager
Yeah.
stuff. That's awesome. Well, I mean, I just think that's really cool. I don't even know what else to say about it. I think it's something, you know, there's a lot to be said, and I've said this already actually, but there's a lot to be said for a mom and dad who want to invest in their kids and in a hobby and in something that's even, you know, this truck will, I imagine, end up being his daily driver.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
this is a perfect truck to do that in, if my opinion matters, and
Yes, sir.
I think it's I just think it's a really, really cool thing.
I'm really happy about it.
I bet you are. I bet you are. Tell you what, that air works just right for me. We're going to get some rolling shots of this thing. He might be 14, but that don't mean he can't back his own truck out of the driveway.
Good right here.
That's perfect. Thanks for tuning in to Whitlock Garage. This segment of What's in My Driveway. Clearly, Jake has got a cool truck. Big thanks to Chip for obviously making that happen for him. But as you've heard, Jake is invested in this truck. Really appreciate them coming over. These guys are really, really awesome, and this truck is really cool. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please consider doing so. Definitely give us a thumbs up right there below the screen if you like what you've seen today, and leave a comment. If you're not already in the comments, something is wrong. Leave a comment and let Jake know how excited you are that a 14-year-old is into these trucks. It's just really, really cool that a young man like this is into them. Big thanks to his dad and mom for providing a path to do that, and we'll catch you next time on Whitlock Garage. Cue the music.